What is up, guys? So, I'm knocking stuff over here. I'm sorry. Um, Let me put this on mute and just turn the volume down. Anyway, I'm watching The Misadventures of Flapjack. It's a crazed, mind-bending story, and it reminds me of a show called Food Party and Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. But those were with puppets. This is animated. It's a wonderful show. I think it's made by Thorpe Van Orp. I probably getting his name completely wrong. Big dude, big crazy red beard, loves adventure. Anyway, so quick update. Please forgive the facetiousness of what I'm about to say, but the rats have finally fled the nest, and I can just finally be alone with my thoughts. Yes, I've had a few over, but they aren't thoughts. I don't date thoughts. I don't court thoughts. I court women, and they must have a certain intellectual acuity. Oh, and the women that I've met in the past couple of weeks are brilliant. Now, a lot of people say, well, if they breathe, they're a thought, but it's like, that's for me to fucking decide. It's like, I'm the one that's willing to pay the cost. I'm the one that's willing to take the hit. Anyway, picture. This is the Specialist. I got this at a thrift store. And I'm finally able to actually unpack my things and put things where I want. And, a lot of people don't think, those people don't think I'm going to stick the landing, but I've already done it. They're all out, and I didn't have to lift a damn finger. Now, I do have to say this. I'm really pissed that they stole my sushi bazooka. Basically, it's this little thing with two halves, and it's like kind of a pump that compresses the, once you load in your ingredients, flip it over, and then compress it, it forces it into the form, and all you got to do is just push it out onto the paper, the seaweed paper. I forgot what it's called right now. It's like, I make sushi. I don't know all the terminology. I'm like, what is that? It is delicious. I will eat it. It is delicious because I made it. But yeah, they stole my sushi bazooka. They can come up with it, whatever fucking excuses they want, but it's the wrong fucking move because I have receipts. And all I got to do is bear receipts in small claims court, and I'd rather go in through the front door, go in kind of loud, bear my receipts, find them in contempt, and then I'm gonna come out, just smelling like a champ. I'm already just I can finally intellectually unwind without these whack posers watching my every fucking step and then making fun of me for every effort that I try. I mean, that's the thing, though. I just gotta say, to speak about my own hold on a second, accomplishments. Full throttle. My favorite energy drink, pretty much. It actually has a really good flavor and doesn't really. It only half tastes like battery acid. But Four Locos, that stuff where it's like, oh boy, you want to just destroy your body and your mind, but have a good time while you do it. Four Loco and Full Throttle are your energy drink of choice, but make sure you ratio it correctly, or you're gonna get really wiped out. You can really keep the party going with the right sort. If you do the chemistry right, and you know your body personally, you can really, I want to say alcohol has almost boundless limits if you can do the chemistry right. Most people just drink like crazy, like freaking camels or elephants that just go down bottles unsophisticatedly without really enjoying the feeling and enjoying the moments of like, because for me, when I'm blazing up and when I'm observing, I don't really smoke blunts necessarily. I prefer the fancier term of bluntery. When I'm observing some bluntery, I'm blazing up a big fat one, and I'm also having a little bit of CBD oil in my vape. Yes. Yes. Oh, we're getting low. Get low, get low. I'm sorry. Sorry, my vape is like really like on its last leg. I'm so lazy right now. I don't want to switch them over, but I'm gonna do it. It's like my least dexterous hand, because there's no such thing as your non-dexterous hand. Your hands are always dexterous because you're always learning how to use them in tandem. You're only non-dexterous with a hand if you've lost it. I pray, literally pray, that would never happen to any of you, because we all know, you know. Let me get a little MGTOW real quick. Oh wait, hold on a second. Well, I mean, that's the update. I got the apartment to myself. Had my brother over. I got him off the streets. He's in a wellness facility. And anybody who would want to say, oh, he's a vet with PTSD, he's fucked up like you, well, motherfucker. The whole time I'm telling him about the evil shit that they did, this guy is a Marine, because there's no such thing as an ex-Marine. Even he told me that. And I was like, oh, that shit in Avatar is true. He's like, yeah, no such thing as an ex-Marine. 8 years. He just did it. Like, the shit he was showing me, I was just like, I felt like freaking like Zombieland, where he's looking at Tallahassee and he's like, oh my god, you are a dangerous fucking man, you know. My brother's a man. And he's my baby brother, so it's like my baby brother can come and fucking handle you, unless you bitch niggas have the balls to fucking like identify yourselves to me. And it's like, oh, you need to send your dog? Well, he volunteered to fuck some people up on my behalf. You know what? I think I'm gonna cash in that 31 flavor. I'm gonna cash in that 31 flavor coupon on your body if you talk shit. And that's the thing about shit talkers, is they want to talk shit and get away with it. Me, I'm willing to pay the price because what I say is fucking funny, and I love a good deconstruction on a motherfucker. But to speak to me about MGTOW things and about maladies, exterior maladies, a man will not garner sympathy, he'll only garner hatred. Like, the further down he gets, that's the more the people around him and society hates him. But a woman always is able to garner sympathy. We saw that, what was it, the female, I saw this one thing on female incels. And her face was messed up. She looked like, you know, like she got attacked by a bear or something. And I hold back my heart because they don't deserve my considerations and sympathies, because if I was in the same position, I would be in the same position I am now. You know, I'm pretty much at the height of my, almost at the height of my intellectual acuity. My emotional acuity is off the fucking charts, because everything that pops into my head now that used to emotionally terrorize me, and let me just use the word trigger, I want to say it doesn't bother. It's not that it doesn't bother me anymore, but I have such a command of it. I tell it where to go. I tell it what context it will be allowed in my presence in. And MGTOW gives you that capability in thinking. It's a wonderful philosophy. And for someone to say, it's and let me just say this. Anybody who has a problem with MGTOW, you just don't like the brand. And you are attacking the brand. You're trying to deformate the power of that brand through people. I mean, it's like everybody rebranded. Back in World War II, Hitler had a brand new brand. It was the eagle and the swastika. And when he actually, I think he stole that from Indians, because they use swastikas. I mean, even Shaolin monks, when they would go around with their back, we've seen those kung fu movies. I did my research, and it's true. The Shaolin monks would have those little Shaolin temple, and if you get froggy, we'll kick your ass. Did you like the demonstration? Come on to the Shaolin temple. Come on and be a disciple. And let me just say, like, I really liked that. I really thought it was great. But anyway, it was him taking different iconography. He was building a new totem, because I say to you with all truth, totems. What do I want to say? Yeah. So he built a totem, but I just lost my thought. I apologize for that. I looked at the time and my brain was like, oh, time to stop thinking about that. But anyway, I can't thank everybody out there enough. You've been in, I want to say, an insurmountable help. I hope that this live stream comes out good because I've got really really shitty internet, and it was because this guy during like the vernal equinox for Jews, like our we had a double Shabbat and then we had Passover. That's a big thing, and if you don't believe in whatever, don't none of us give a fuck about your fucking atheism or your agnosticism or whatever, because the high holy feast days are for us. They're for people who love the story, don't see it as a story, see it as a prophetic shadow picture. Hope is the assured expectation of things to come. I'm not saying you're anyone's a bad person for not believing, but it's wrong to try to tear down someone else's faith. You are being a Satan in that person's life. You are being there because Satan, as it's properly pronounced, just means accuser. And that's what these pseudo intellectuals do. They're like, I accuse you of having a bad brand. I accuse you of being all of the society's evils. Here, we've seen it. It's out here. It's in the open. But what do I want to say? But just that. You're not worthless, but you're a bad person because you are habitual in your bad behavior, and that's what cements you as a bad person. Because if you don't get caught for what you do when you do wrong, you're just going to keep doing it, and then narcissistically the narcissism takes over, and then you say, there is nothing wrong with what I'm doing. I am most acceptable. And anybody who says counter to my narrative, which I completely control, but I have the upper hand, and I'm not going to relinquish it. And anybody who asks me to relinquish it, even on the basis of decency, is an evil person to me, and I need to use defamating narrative to make them go away because they're a danger. Wow, that's some bitch niggery. God damn. I just got to say it. 12 minutes. Thanks for anybody who's actually watching, because YouTube does hide your views. I mean, I love how YouTube will hide your views on live streams. They'll hide your views and to keep your channel down. Has anybody noticed, if you're a micro channel like me, it's always in, your views always come in 4s, 5s. It's always in these numerals. 2s, well, never really 1. It's always 0 generally. Then it goes between 3, 4, 5, and then it'll shoot up to about, let's say, 11, 14, 15, 17, and then 20. And then when it gets a little higher, you'll never get to the 100s, is what I'm saying. And that's their strategy. But now you guys know the numbers. Look at your numbers. Look at your subscribers. They all seem to obey this strange enumeration pattern. It's never in multiples of 7. It's always in multiples of 3, 4. I want to say 3, 4, and 5. That is their tarot, people. Take that to the bank if they don't definitely stop you. But yeah, we're 13 minutes in, so I might do a little highlight about that and just go through my views live. But I said all of that with the High Holy Shabbat to illustrate that this guy cut off my phone during the High Holy Feast days, and I couldn't get in contact with work. And I'm not gonna bend over backwards for people who are fucking me over, especially not on the feast date for my God. Now, I just had a thought. Anybody's just like, oh, you're cursing, you're a man of God. You don't dictate to me what I say in my own fucking house, motherfucker. Who are you? Identify yourself to me, that I may berate you properly and show you where your constitutional rights end when you step into another man's presence, because you are in my presence. You are, for the person I know who's probably going to see this. Oh, but that's the update, guys. I'm having a really great time. Everything is not falling into place. Everything is just coming together. It's kind of like these people were diseased animals that had me cordoned off, and they wouldn't let anybody. They wouldn't let salvation come to me. They wouldn't let me have my God, and they try to take him from me. And I survived because my God is stronger than them. And look, I'm here and they are gone. They cannot go where I'm going. They do not know where I will be. So, yeah, the last thing I want to show you guys, since I finally can unpack, I found all of my goodies, my loot crate stuff, and I got this the other not the other day, but a long time ago, and I was like, I don't know when to wear this pin. It's massive, and I love this pin. Let's see if there's a website. I know there's a website right here. There you go. There's this website. Oh, that's interesting. That's my birth month. Interesting. I'm gonna try to keep this going for another 2 minutes, make it up to 17. I'm pretty sure that's either gonna help or hurt the algorithm, or at least on one side or the other. But I like 17. 17 is a good number. Oh, come on. Sorry, my vape is really acting up. Oh. There we go. CBD, really, I'm telling you guys, a little bit of nicotine, a little bit of CBD, a little bit of blunt, a little bit of bluntery. This is just a black and mild. Just a black and mild. It's my stream. I can show what I want. A little bit of bluntery. All of those combinations of chemicals really unlock the cerebrum. I really must say. My lucky even in God, and I am very fulfilled. And if you say that I'm not fulfilled, well then, go be fulfilled somewhere else. You're just mad because you're not getting the emotional fuel and catharsis that you want. Because it all that's like the more viewers you kind of get. Maybe they have a deal with like internet packages and plans to give you premium views. I mean, that's really diabolical, but it makes sense because they're like, well, if this person can't afford a phone plan, that means they're poor. They won't be bringing us any money with their live streams. They won't be bringing us fans and sponsorships, and they won't. They don't do what they're told. I mean, that's really their beef with anybody, is they think that they run their system. They're basically just pimps when you get down to it. And they want to make you their totem. They want to make you their whore. They want you to they're embezzlers because they use you to make money, and then they say, well, we decide what cut you get. And then just like when they Wayne Brady, is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch? But YouTube, and they can make all the threats they want. You know why? Because they are in severe breach of their own policies. And a tyrant, and that's the difference between a ruler and a tyrant. A tyrant says, I do no wrong. A ruler, when they fuck up, allows themselves to be accountable to people. That's why we kangs. That's why MGTOW is kangs. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize for the bit of blunt revelry in my bluntery. Although I haven't sparked up a fatty yet, just this black and mild. But, dear fans, please forgive me for reverie, for my revelry and reveling in my not so inexplicable victory. For I read the tarot and I saw that this was all coming to fruition. But there are a few things I needed that they took. I don't know if I mentioned this, but they stole my sushi bazooka. I fucking love that thing. And that's how you know you're dealing with, I don't know what the fuck to call these people anymore. Well, you're dealing with someone who's a real bad customer. They come to you and they say that your life belongs to me, your money belongs to me, and you'll do what I say to gain acceptance, and then maybe we'll let you make money here. Because this is supposed to be a place of liberation from my sorrows and my woes. These fuckers told me, we're your new family. We're your family. I'm like, y'all niggas haven't made the fucking cut. Live 7 years in South Central. Like me and my family did, having to take the graffiti on our fucking walls. My mom breaking down and crying because someone broke into our car because she accidentally left her purse in there. And anybody who would blame my mom and say, oh, it's her fault, she should have, oh, they caught her sleeping or something like that. You weren't there for the emotional breakdown You weren't there in that state of powerlessness to help your own mom because you're a fucking kid. And people want you to be locked in that cage. So they recreate scenarios and instances. They use your most intimate hurts and recreate it to put you in a cage simply to have dominion and power over you, making you a totem. Because they only want what they find favorable about you to be displayed and to come out of your mouth. But I'm too strong-willed. I'm like a dog that had the best trainer, that loves his trainer, that desperately wants to see him again. And even though he's with me, the separation is ever present because there's always contrast. But it's the beautiful moments that keep us tethered to the good people, because they left an indelible mark on us. And that's the mark that you want. Kind of like a tattoo. Leads to a good memory. So I guess I'm going to end the live stream right here, guys. Thanks for everybody who's listening, who's watching, who actually found my points once again poignant. Last thing I want to say is I got an interesting comment on one of my my Space Marine videos. And it was really interesting is the person accused me of basically, he basically said that this was, in not so many words, excuse me for belching, rumbly and the tumbly. He accused me of basically not being an artist. And it's interesting to me because what's my contrast? Well, I have the evidence of my YouTube channel. And it's so funny that I would read this comment, and it coincides within a couple of days. When I got to visit my mom, I got to see my mom again. God damn, that was great. My mom kind of got to see her boy grown up, being independent, telling everybody who ain't shit in life to fuck off because they too fucking whack for my shit. I was up at Albertsons, and I really wanted to get some chicken strips because that was the Albertsons I was heading to when I got hit by that woman. Crossing the right of way once again. I had everything legal on my side. Wasn't jaywalking, was obeying the law, and this bitch decides to fucking hit me. Because the way this bitch, and this is why women are bad drivers. Take this to the fucking bank, MGTOW. My MGTOW brothers. Take this to the bank. Women are bad drivers because they do not yield to any authority when they're in the car. When they're behind the wheel, they think that they are the authority. They are the police, which is why they think that they have the right to flee the fucking scene, which this woman did twice, to the point where when she got back home, they arrested her there. So she spent a little time in jail, but that's not... by the court proceedings and how they went, she was only looking to get off because that's what these fucking scumbag lawyers do. They say there's no money, we can't get money from this person, so let her off. And that's what they fucking did. They gave me no legal counsel or loopholes to exploit. The shyster that was assigned to me was like, well, Your Honor, he has forgiveness in his heart and all that kind of stuff. But without all that blah blah blah, I had this beautiful conversation with this nice woman named Danette. I believe her name was. I think it was a donut. I remember seeing a donut on her tag or something. Very nice woman. Just going about her routine. We had a wonderful conversation about cooking. I was telling her the difference between saltwater sushi, freshwater sushi, what's safe to eat, what's kind of not safe to eat, when you got to cook it a certain way because of where it comes from. I did all my research. That's why I love sushi. You don't have to be a master. You don't have to be a sushi chef to make good sushi. You just have to have the want to eat good food and follow that motivation, and it will guide you to becoming a self-sufficient cook. And what is a self-sufficient cook if not a chef? Because you cook what you like, but people determine the title of chef as catering to their needs. But that's when you're on the job, if you're on the job. And me, My job is to cook food that I like because I got to cook for myself. And those fuckers stole my sushi bazooka. They've impeded my equilibrium or my pursuit of a good equilibrium, which I find not unforgivable, but very difficult to forgive. For it is my place to forgive, for their slights against me, not against you. Therefore, onlookers do not have jurisdiction. You can judge the action, you can judge my actions, but you can't judge the person, because you don't fucking know them. But she told me you should be a YouTuber. She said people need to hear your voice and listen to what you have to say. So I'll take that as my evidence that with my Space Marine videos, that was art. That is art. Even if you want to say it was, it stands in testament on my channel. And it's immutable. It's beauty. It's artistry. Let me articulate a little bit. When I put in that music, it was a complete accident. And I followed a method that I embarked upon with just taking music that I like and trying to splice it in to trailers. So I made my own trailer at the end, and I thought it was just glorious. The music had scale, it had presence, it had ambience. It was like it's a wine that I get to go back and I get to sip and enjoy. And niggas don't like the fucking vintage because they think they have ownership over the product, over the brand. And just because you put a Terminator thumbnail in your YouTube tag or whatever the fuck it is, does that make you an artist? No, you're emulating the brand. And I properly, and you're doing the same thing I did, but I properly emulated the brand by expanding it. So if it isn't art, please tell me where I'm in breach of YouTube copyright. Take me to the authorities of YouTube. But you can't do that, because you're just some dude with a gripe. And if you meant that in jest, I thank you for the pageantry and the presentation of your jest, sir. But only if it's a jest. But I invite more people to make more comments like that, because it both emotionally challenges me and it intellectually challenges me, because now I can give those beautiful articulation, that insider knowledge. I mean, I love that scene where, it says, you hear the line, "Till I see you again." And for me, the voice is a Valkyrie on the battlefield, and the Space Marine, he's on the battlefield, and he's in a place where he's cut off from his comrades, he's cut off from his glory, he's cut off from the glory of the God Emperor. But the siren's voice that he hears echoing throughout the Astronomicon, that makes its way to whatever alien barren hellscape that he finds himself in, he knows that the Emperor protects. And that's what I wish to encapsulate, or I believe I did encapsulate with that beautiful little bit that I presented to all of my brothers and sisters out there who really love some fucking 40K. Whether it's painting the miniatures like fucking Henry Cavill. Boy, Henry Cavill from Count of Monte Cristo. That painting the Custodes. Man, I got so much respect for that dude. But in any case, despite some of my pompery, I think the Surfer's comment, because once again, it got me riled up, and I very rarely get to experience that from another YouTuber. I don't know whether he makes videos or not, but I would venture to say he has the passion to, in a sense, protect the brand. Now, gatekeeping is sometimes a bad thing, and I'm not saying it's gatekeeping to a certain degree. I just recognize it as having severe emotional resonance that perhaps one is not prepared for. But at least I planted the seed. because we have to do things in concordance with our own artistic style. And that's all I was doing. Last thing, I'm wearing my dad's Fila jacket. As I was unpacking, I found a lot of my dad's stuff that he gave to me after I got out of the hospital. I got one jacket that I kind of religiously wear, and it's the one he gave to me when he was in the hospital. He had this smile, like, you really did it, man. You really did it. You made it through. Those beautiful memories, man. I miss my dad in a different way, but this helps. This helps. I just don't know how you can tear a nigga down for loving his dad. And that's why, because I never sided with my sister and her hatred of men. And that's why I'm MGTOW. My dad got to see Terrence pop. My brother was like, hey, Dad, there's this really great guy, and he's been through a lot. And my sister would regiment the time that my dad would watch this, because she's a whore of Babylon. She's a fucking Jezebel. What did it say in the scriptures? Do not marry foreign wives, because they'll turn your heart away from God. And that's what my sister seemed to endeavor to do. But it was like, no, you will worship my God. She treated my dad, once again, she degenerated him to the idea of a totem. And she tried to do that with all her brothers. You know, and now she's away. Just like they're away. And they can only come if I allow them to come. So I'm so sorry for the double entendretic implications of that. I'm going to end the live stream here. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.